Therapists say that every element in music can influence a patient. Things like a change in volume, from loud to quiet, or a change in pace, from fast to slow. Thanks, Josh. As you can see behind me, I'm standing by what we call an emergency help point. Students who feel a danger at any time of the day can go to the help point, hit the emergency button, and immediately they'll be placed in contact with campus officers. Right now, the fire rescue teams are investigating the damage in the garage, trying to figure out what started this fire and what left this house in ruins. When Penny first started here at the Animal Science Building, 3/4-inch tape was the medium of the day. She took her students through to 1/2-inch tape and then to digital tape. And now it's SD cards and full HD. Utah Women and Leadership Project says that 1 in 2 Utah women will experience sexual abuse. So for these 8 women, you can go, you're good, and you're good. These 4 women would be a victim. Thanks, Sam. I'm here where the USU track and field team competes. Now, they're not a direct target of House Bill 302, but there could be a trickle-up effect. Healthcare officials say that COVID-19 has a ripple effect. This rock represents a COVID-19 positive USU student who doesn't know they're carrying the virus. Just like a rock being dropped in water, a COVID-19 positive student's impact could spread like a ripple in water to surrounding areas. As far as the finish line goes for the bill, Utah senators have until March 5th to make an official decision, but for now, it's not looking like it's going to cross it. Reporting from the Ralph Mon Stadium, Sarah Murphy, ATV News. In the days of VHS, a woman could be murdered by her husband, and people weren't all that rocked.
The police are over there all the time. He's got a bad temper.
Professional help wasn't encouraging.
She did it. She did everything she could do, and she's dead.
While the technology has gotten better, the problem hasn't, with Logan police handling yet another domestic violence call this weekend.
He was so nice when he was getting his way, and then when things were not going his way, he would turn and just gaslight me, and I felt so confused.
It was mostly like coercion, so I didn't really want to have sex, but I just felt like I had to because he would continually push it and just ask over and over, and just got to a point where I was like, okay, fine, like I guess I have to do this, because I just didn't feel like there was any other option. And then it led to the more like physical abuse.
Officials say the issue is present, especially in Utah.
Violence against girls and women and rape and all of this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable in a society. It's unacceptable to God. And we have not done the work we need to do in the state of Utah to change things.
Utah Women and Leadership Project says that 1 in 2 Utah women will experience sexual abuse. So for these 8 women, you can go, you're good, and you're good. These 4 women would be a victim.
It took me a long time and a lot of therapy to get to a point where I actually recognized like what he did to me and the way he treated me wasn't okay.
I just thought that I was going crazy. I thought that he must be right, that I really was overly sensitive.
Abuse survivors and officials say that friends can help. First, educate yourself.
We really need to be more informed often so that we can help others and know for ourselves.
And second, talk.
We're starting to have these conversations, but we need to continue to have them in a more open, honest way.
The person that's going through the experience is probably not going to like what you're saying, but it's still important to speak up.
It sucks, but it doesn't have to be the thing that defines you. Like you deserve to be happy, and you can find that happiness and get away from those, unhealthy situations and those abusive people.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News.
It's very squeaky, so
It's kind of squeaky.
Exercising, playing games, or doing laundry.
do you think this is full enough?
Things you might find 17-year-old Sarah Fry doing on a normal day. Like any typical teenager, her mom even has to get her out of bed. But Sarah's routine is a little different.
No, that's getting so much easier.
Relearning how to sit up and do daily things and roll over to my side and stuff like that. That's been a big change for me.
On July 30th, Sarah and her friends piled into their car to return home after a trip to Bear Lake. With Sarah sitting in the back seat, right behind the passenger seat, they made their way through Logan Canyon, where they were hit head-on by a drunk driver.
Probably every parent's worst nightmare is you get this phone call. We expected her to be home in an hour. And we got a phone call saying she'd been in an accident. And it was a serious accident.
As a family here, we sat around this room and just talked about what, the prospect of losing Sarah, and had to come to terms with that.
Learning about the loss of your legs is news that could shock anyone.
1, 2. Okay.
But the real shock was Sarah's reaction.
I just knew that I would be okay.
It was just amazing. The next thing she said was, "I'm so lucky to have you." There weren't tears. It was incredible, her reaction.
Out to the sides and overhead is the hardest.
Sarah's weeks are filled with tasks like physical therapy or practicing going down ramps. But for every task she's given, she finds a way to roll with it.
The better I get at it, the more fun it becomes.
All throughout the Fry home, hidden behind the hundreds of bears sent from well-wishers for Sarah Bera.
We love you, Sarah. Sarah Strong.
You can find a recurring symbol. A symbol that was Sarah's first communication with her family after surgery. A symbol and an attitude that continues to guide her.
I just feel so much love for all these people, and that's probably another reason why I'm so happy, just because I constantly have people that make me feel loved, and I've learned that I'm not alone and I never will be for the rest of my life.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News. Thanks, Sam. I'm here where the USU track and field team competes. Now, they're not a direct target of House Bill 302, but there could be a trickle-up effect. At the NCAA Regional Cross Country Qualifier in Logan in 2017, the men and women raced separately. Men ran farther and faster. With a proposed new Utah law, that could be changing.
We can include you, we can accept you, we can love you, whether you're transgender or whether you're a boy. But give us the court, the track, or the field for us.
Taking all the records away from them and taking away all their opportunities, because we're just going to be better the minute we join girls' sports and dominate, which none of that is true.
They're talking about House Bill 302. Representative Kara Birkland created this bill to require Utah junior high and high schools to designate athletics based on birth gender. It prohibits males from competing in a league with females, or in other words, it prohibits transgender girls from participating in girls' sports.
That's the part that starts to get me emotional, because these kids are they're kind of defenseless, and they're being attacked about who they are. They're being attacked by adults.
I've always been an advocate to the LGBT community. But when it comes to sports, we have to recognize how it will dramatically change women's sports if we don't put parameters in place.
The first proposal of the bill was on February 11th. After review, officials then brought the bill to the House of Representatives on February 17th. The House voted to pass the bill 50-23, which then moved the bill to the Senate. They met last week, but they didn't choose to vote for or against the bill, and that's why it stalled.
It lost a lot of support. There was not a lot of support for the bill in that committee meeting.
It's been hard, but I figure my actions hopefully will continue on and show people that I do care.
While the USU track team let us film them practicing, they told us they're not allowed to comment on the issue. Although the bill is considered dead for now,
advocates from both sides agree that here in Utah, there are still conversations to be had.
My hope is moving forward that we can start pushing that conversation and start pushing for a healthier education system for all Utah kids.
I will do anything that I need to do so that they know that they can have a relationship with me. But we have to have these hard conversations.
If people would listen and actually listen, not just sit down, but actually open up their hearts and minds and hear what we're saying, I feel like that would be so much beneficial to the entire community.
As far as the finish line goes for the bill, Utah senators have until March 5th to make an official decision. But for now, it's not looking like it's going to cross it. Reporting from the Ralph Mott Stadium, Sarah Murphy, ATV News. Now back to you, Sam.